This is lesson Bossa Nova Ostinato 1A, eighth notes. Okay, in this lesson, what we're going to deal with are two ostinatos. In one of the ostinatos, we are going to play basically two voices, which are eighth notes on the hi-hat with the stick, and the bass drum is going to play a repetitive rhythm, and then you're going to read the exercises with your cross stick, okay? Now, it's really important that you get a nice sound from your cross stick. One of the ways to do that is to make sure that the palm of your hand isn't just flying on top of the head. What you actually want to do is put the palm of your hand down on the head as though you're muting the head. And then what you're doing is you can actually move the stick around. I usually have it about an inch or so, or less, whatever, from the edge of the snare drum here. And you can move the stick like this, or you can move it like this, back and forth, whatever it takes for you to get a sound that you really like. So I'm going to just demonstrate that a little bit so you can get an idea of what you're going for. And once you get a nice, solid sound that you like, you can stick with that. Okay, so here we go. What's cool about that, you can get different pitch, as you heard. This style is slow, sensual, beautiful, a lot of harmony and melody. And so you want to make sure that you don't play with real heavy sticks. You want to make sure that you have a very light touch. You don't want to play this too loud because you'll overwhelm the music. The cymbals, if you can have a cymbal that's not real heavy to play on, that would be the way to go. So that usually works really well. And again, you're going to play somewhere in the middle between the bell and the edge, somewhere in the middle of the cymbal. Listen carefully to the way the cymbal sounds. With regards to the hi-hat, you could play with almost the tip of the stick on the hat, or a little bit, a half an inch or less on the shaft of the stick. It just depends on what effect you want. One other thing about this style is that when you're playing it cross stick and you're playing the hi-hat at the same time, you can slightly accent the same thing that you're playing with your cross stick. You can slightly accent with your right hand. So in the first ostinato, I'm going to go ahead and play it for you, and then I'm going to go ahead and play the 6 exercises that are here, which are eighth notes. Now, I want to tell you that if you have Brazilian coordination for drum set, you're in good shape. And the reason why is because on page 17 and 19 of the Brazilian coordination for drum set book, there are 20 of these exercises on each of those pages, so a total of 40 exercises. The other thing is, on page 18 and page 20, there are 10 lines that are 4 bars each. So it's a 4-bar phrase. What's great about this is that you can read the page down if you'd like, from top to bottom, or you can just read it as a 4-bar phrase and repeat it. And this will give you some variation and some skills with your coordination that would really help. Another way that you can play this is on the snare drum. So when you play on the snare, you don't want to play towards the middle of the drum or too far back either. So somewhere in between the middle and the edge of the drum. And also you want to have your stick height relatively low. The reason for that is that you don't want to play too loud. Okay, so it's a very delicate style of music. I'm going to play this at about 110, meaning the quarter note equals 110. That would be considered possibly a medium tempo for the bossa nova. The bossa nova is usually slow for the most part, but that doesn't mean that you can't play a fast bossa nova. The main thing you need to know about this is that you're not thinking in cut time, you're thinking in 4/4. So it's very straight up and down, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, and that would be the best way for you to get through this. So I will play the first ostinato twice, and then I'm going to play the 6 exercises. I'll stop, then I will play the second ostinato twice, and I'll play the 6 exercises. All right? Now, with each lesson, I try to always include a PDF document that you can print. And the whole idea about that is I don't want you to sit there and have to transcribe what I'm playing. I mean, I think that's crazy. So with the lesson, you get the PDF document. It's yours to keep. It's a reminder of how it is that you're going about getting your coordination together slowly, a little bit at a time. You're walking through this very slowly so that you can develop a really strong foundation, because without that, you're going to be lost. Okay, there will be things that you'll play well and other things that will be sloppy and messy. You don't want to go about being a drummer that way, okay, because that's no fun. Okay, I'm going to play the first ostinato for you 2 times, and then I'm going to play the 6 examples that are on the page. I'll stop, and then I'll play the second ostinato twice, and I'll play the 6 exercises. Okay, I'll demonstrate how to play the second ostinato using the snare drum. I also want to make sure that I mention to you that when you play your hat, that you play your hat in such a way you get a nice tight chick, chick, boom, boom, chick, boom, boom. Okay, here we go. Okay, so there are the 2 ostinatos for you to work through. In this particular example, we're just dealing with 8th notes. Nothing is on the upbeat, so you're going to actually not have to worry about syncopation until the next lesson. And I just want to mention to you that when you're playing your cross stick, make sure that you're not necessarily pulling your arm off of the head, but that you're moving your wrist just the same way as if you were playing with the stick, okay? So there's always, your hand is always, or a portion of your hand is always on the head, which means it's always muted, because the sound does change once you unmute the head. So I just wanted to reiterate that. And the Bossa Nova style is from Brazil, as you probably already know. It became very popular in 1962. It was played in Carnegie Hall. There was an explosion of the Bossa Nova. Thousands of Bossa Nova songs were recorded, and the Bossa Nova continues to live. It's It's an absolutely beautiful style of music that requires sensitivity. So make sure that you listen to the way everything sounds when you're playing it because it's really important. Okay, now practice. And until next time, you take care and drum on.